Veganism has long been celebrated as the ethical choice for those who care about animal welfare and the environment. The promise of a cruelty-free, eco-friendly lifestyle has made veganism a powerful movement. But while the benefits of plant-based eating are often emphasized, there's a significant piece of the puzzle that many overlook: the environmental and ethical impacts of the very farming systems that sustain plant-based diets. Industrial crop farming, the backbone of the vegan food supply, might not be as innocent as it seems. Today, let's explore why ethical veganism often overlooks the hidden costs of industrial agriculture. When most people think of veganism, they imagine lush fields of fruits, vegetables, and grains, crops grown with care to reduce harm to the planet. However, the reality of industrial crop farming, particularly monocropping, is far less environmentally friendly. Monocropping is the practice of planting a single crop, like soy, corn, or wheat, over vast expanses of land year after year. While this approach may seem efficient, it comes with severe environmental consequences. Monocropping strips the soil of its natural nutrients, causing soil degradation. Without crop rotation to restore nutrients, farmers rely on synthetic fertilizers to maintain productivity, which can seep into water sources, polluting rivers and lakes. Additionally, monocropping reduces biodiversity, destroying the habitats of animals, insects, and plants that rely on a variety of ecosystems to thrive. As a result, monocropping leads to environmental degradation, creating an imbalance in nature that harms wildlife, pollinators, and entire ecosystems. Despite its eco-friendly image, veganism often relies on monoculture farming to produce plant-based products. Crops like soy, corn, and wheat are staples in many vegan foods, including fake meats, dairy-free cheeses, and snacks. While these products are marketed as sustainable, their production process actually depletes soil health, contributes to water depletion, and harms biodiversity, issues that industrial animal farming is often blamed for. The environmental cost of large-scale monocropping is significant, yet it's rarely discussed in vegan circles. Perhaps the most overlooked aspect of industrial crop farming is its impact on animal life. Veganism, at its core, seeks to reduce animal suffering, but what many vegans don't realize is that industrial crop farming is responsible for significant animal deaths. The large-scale machinery used to plant and harvest crops inevitably kills small animals such as rodents, birds, and even larger creatures like deer. These animals often live in or around crop fields, and as farming machinery rolls through, they are crushed or displaced. The use of pesticides and herbicides further adds to the toll on animal life, poisoning and killing insects, birds, and small mammals. Birds that feed on insects in crop fields are particularly at risk of ingesting harmful chemicals, leading to illness or death. While the harm caused by crop production isn't as visible as the suffering in factory farms, it's undeniable. By focusing exclusively on the harm caused by animal agriculture, the broader environmental and ethical consequences of industrial crop farming are often ignored. One of the central arguments for veganism is that plant-based diets have a smaller carbon footprint compared to meat-based diets. However, this argument fails to consider the environmental impact of monoculture farming. Large-scale crop production requires significant fossil fuel inputs, fuel for machinery, transportation, and the manufacturing of synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. These processes contribute to greenhouse gas emissions, undermining some of the environmental benefits attributed to plant-based diets. Additionally, monoculture farming practices, with their reliance on synthetic chemicals and vast land use, continue to deplete vital natural resources, such as soil and water. In contrast, regenerative agriculture practices, which are applied in sustainable livestock farming, can sequester carbon, enhance soil health, and restore biodiversity. By focusing on regenerative methods like rotational grazing, livestock farming can have a positive environmental impact. In these systems, livestock play an important role in maintaining land health. Grazing animals help fertilize the land naturally, stimulate plant growth, and prevent erosion. These farming practices work with nature, not against it, and create a more sustainable and carbon-neutral food system. Yet many vegan arguments fail to acknowledge this distinction, assuming that all animal farming is harmful to the planet. The reality of many vegan products, particularly processed ones, complicates the story even further. Items like fake meats and dairy-free cheeses, often considered ethical alternatives to traditional animal products, are heavily reliant on industrial agriculture. These products may seem like a solution to animal cruelty, but their production comes with its own set of environmental and ethical costs. To make plant-based alternatives, vast quantities of soy or pea protein are grown, often through monoculture farming, then processed extensively to mimic the taste and texture of real meat. The processing of these plant-based ingredients requires a significant amount of energy and resources, creating products that are far from sustainable. Whole animal products like grass-fed beef, pasture-raised eggs, and raw milk, on the other hand, come from farming systems that support biodiversity, improve soil health, and contribute to local ecosystems. These practices are more aligned with sustainable farming principles and offer nutrient-dense, ethically sourced food. While these products are often dismissed by vegans, their production methods align more closely with the values of sustainability than the heavily processed, industrialized foods in the vegan market. The ethical argument for veganism is valid when considering the suffering caused by factory farming and animal slaughter. However, focusing solely on animal welfare, while ignoring the broader environmental and ethical implications of industrial crop farming, presents a narrow view of what it means to make ethical food choices. True ethical eating means considering the entire food system, from how food is grown to its impact on the soil, water, wildlife, and local communities. Industrial farming, whether for plants or animals, is unsustainable. Sustainable farming practices, on the other hand, offer a holistic approach to food production that benefits the environment, animal welfare, and human health. In conclusion, it's time to reconsider the simplistic narrative that pits plant-based diets against meat consumption. The environmental and ethical impacts of industrial crop farming are significant, and these practices are often overlooked in the discussion surrounding veganism. Monocropping, pesticide use, and soil degradation are all serious issues that contribute to the degradation of ecosystems and wildlife habitats. At the same time, sustainable livestock farming, particularly regenerative agriculture, has the potential to restore ecosystems, support biodiversity, and reduce the carbon footprint of food production. Instead of focusing solely on eliminating animal products, we need to shift the conversation to how we can farm in a way that benefits the planet. A more nuanced approach to food and sustainability is crucial if we're going to build a future that supports both human and environmental well-being. As we continue to explore sustainable eating, it's important to recognize the hidden costs of industrial farming, whether plant or animal-based, and make informed choices that prioritize ecological health and ethical practices. Let's rethink the way we grow and produce food, supporting methods that contribute to a healthier planet for all.